Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series. The 1000 Maws of Toto-Rak is a level 24 dungeon originally introduced in patch 2.0 and recently updated in patch 6.1. The dungeon is featured during the quest Into the Beast's Maw. The quest giver is Buscaron in the South Shroud. The new overhaul has hugely improved the gameplay throughout the dungeon and has made it much simpler, so without further ado, let's dive into the guide. Start this duty progressing forward and pick up the first set of ads. Throughout the dungeon you will notice water-stained notes on the walls. If you interact with these you can learn more about the lore of Toto-Rak. Once cleared, or depending on your party's ability, you can proceed ahead and collect the next set of ads. With the new update, we no longer have to worry about collecting photo cells. Simply progress and pick up each set of ads in turn, clearing them on the way. Eventually you will be blocked by a web wall. This will only disappear once all enemies before it have been killed. The sapling does have a frontal cone to watch out for, but this is easy to avoid. Once the webs have disappeared, head through towards boss fight number 1. Boss fight number 1 is Kirlo Ninetales. Start this fight with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. The only ability this boss has is Acid Mist, adding a very mild poison on all party members. This cannot be cleansed. Simply pile on damage to the Ninetales and before long it will be downed. Pick up your loot and proceed. Continue down the next stretch of the dungeon as before. You will be greeted with a few new ad types but nothing to worry about. There are poison debuffs that can be cleansed to watch out for, however just healing through them is a better option. Once you have cleared the puddings and delights, you'll be met with another web wall. Clear the ads here to proceed through. Pick up 2 more sets of ads and head to the next web wall. Once through, get ready for boss fight number 2. Boss fight number 2 is Kirlo Ninetales again. Start the fight with a tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. This fight is identical to the first, except that halfway through, Ninetales will summon 2 Warden Whip ads to the fight. You can basically ignore these and carry on dealing damage to the boss. After a short while, Ninetales will be killed, for good this time. Pick up your loot and proceed. The final section of this dungeon includes more ad groups and web walls. Once past the first web wall, you will be greeted by more puddings and lightning sprites. Depending on your party's ability, you can take each group one at a time in this tunnel, or collect them all at the web wall and AoE them down to save some time. Once this final group is cleared, head through the web wall and proceed towards the final boss fight. Enjoy the short cutscene. Graffias is our final boss. Start this fight as normal with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. Avoid the frontal column AoE of Silk Screen and watch out for the large point blank AoE from Realm Shaker. At around 50% health, the boss will summon 2 Smart ads. Pick these up and clear them quickly. Graffias will then stab the floor and leave a large poison puddle. Avoid this area, then focus down its tail. This deals damage and debuffs the boss with vulnerability up, increasing damage received. A random party member will be targeted with Silk Screen, and a pod placed on their position. Simply move to avoid the large point blank AoE from the bursting pod. This will inflict poison to anyone hit. 4 ads will spawn in total throughout this encounter. Aim to focus Graffias and end the fight. And there you have it, the 1000 Maws of Toto-Rak is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this trial a difficulty rating 1 out of 5 swords. The bosses have very limited mechanics and low health pools as well, meaning for an easy run. The special loot for this dungeon includes the Eternal Shade, Brigands and Ascetics armor and weaponry sets are level 26, and the Dungeon Seedling crafting item. Up next is Hawkeye Manor 6.1 update. We are 4-Player Squad Gaming. Until next time, thanks for watching.